Where there is smoke, there is usually fire, especially when it comes to the NFL. In this video, I'm going to discuss Russell Wilson and the potential trade destinations, where Seattle could send Russ to get the best compensation and where I believe Russell Wilson would best fit. The situations actually have to work. This is a crazy Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, Seattle, Sierra situation. One of the craziest I've seen. I quite honestly don't recall a quarterback that has been this successful with the franchise that wants to leave the franchise. But according to Mike Silver of NFL Network, Russell Wilson is clearly unhappy, adding that the Seahawks are not happy with the way that this has gone down since the end of last season. Russell Wilson's not happy with Seattle. Seattle's not happy with Russell Wilson. If these reports are true, this trade isn't just a possibility, but it's going to happen. On top of that, Diana Russini of ESPN reported that Seattle has not been shopping Russell Wilson per se, but when teams have called, they have answered that phone. Keep in mind that trading Russell Wilson for Seattle would be a major move, not only to turn the future of their franchise on its head, but also financially. The Seattle Seahawks would have $39 million of dead cap on their hands if they were to trade Russell Wilson this off season. But let's just pretend that it happens, or that it's going to happen. In this video, I'm going to rank the 4 Russell Wilson destinations that he would like to go to, or that it was reported that he would like to go to, because it was reported by Wilson's agent, according to Adam Schefter. Mark Rodgers did say that Dallas, New Orleans, the Raiders, and the Bears were teams that Russell Wilson was interested in. So I'll rank those 4 teams. On top of that, I'll give you 4 other teams that I think could trade for Russell Wilson, or that Russell Wilson should at the very least be listening to, that maybe he should be interested in, because these teams can actually logically and realistically trade for you, Russ. So before I give you my landing spots and my rankings for Russell Wilson destinations, make sure that you do spike that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos just like this. Also, get in that comment section and let me know, guys, where do you think Russell Wilson is going to land, and which team do you think he fits best? Also, if you're a fan of one of these teams, do you want Russell Wilson? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's kick off the Russell Wilson destinations with the 4 teams that he stated he would like to be a part of. Keep in mind, all factors are included: salary cap, coaching, scheme, team fit, and also what the team would have to give up, and it's actually worth it to get Russell Wilson. All of those things matter to me. Starting off at number 4 is the New Orleans Saints. And this mostly has to do with their cap situation and nothing else. They are minus $58 million as of March 5th, 2021. How in the blue you know what are they going to make this happen? Tell me. I am very interested, very intrigued. Please let me know how the Saints are going to make this happen. Sean Payton's amazing, one of the best offensive minds, not just of right now, but of all time. And they have a great roster, a great O-line to protect him, Michael Thomas to throw to, Alvin Kamara out of the backfield, but no salary, and probably a defense that's going to see a lot of players leave very quickly. So I'm going to put them in last just because I don't see it happening. Like, I don't think it can happen. At number 3, the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I understand why Las Vegas was a destination for Russell Wilson, because I think it's beneficial to both Russ as a market and Sierra as a destination. So I understand why he chose Las Vegas. Also, John Gruden is an excellent offensive mind. I think he put Russell Wilson in a lot of great situations. And I believe that the play action, the run game, everything that Russell Wilson believes in, John Gruden also believes in. So it would be a perfect marriage from the offensive scheme standpoint. The offensive line of the Raiders is pretty solid. Josh Jacobs can run that rock. Darren Waller is a dynamic tight end. They have a speedy downfield wide receiver that they just drafted a year ago in Henry Ruggs. They have elements of a promising team with Russell Wilson, a very explosive offense. But their defense needs a lot of work. And that's why I would say for the Raiders, I'm not sure this would be worth it because Derek Carr is a solid quarterback. He's top 15 in my opinion. And if you get rid of him plus a couple first round picks, there's no way you're fixing your defense, okay? No way. Is Russell Wilson really that much better having no defense and really not having as good of receivers that he has in Seattle? It really feels like the Raiders would only have a marginal success rate here. They would only get a little bit better with Russell Wilson. The number 2 team that Russell Wilson would like to be a part of, in my opinion, is the Chicago Bears. The reason I have Chicago at number 2, while others may see them as the worst team on this list, is because at least they have a foundation of a roster that can just add a quarterback and be pretty successful. Mitchell Trubisky has had a winning record a part of this team, a part of this roster. They have a good roster. They remind me a lot of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of a year ago. Now, not quite to that level offensively, but still a coach that's a pretty good offensive mind, at least would be great with a guy like Russell Wilson and has been fairly successful with an undermanned quarterback situation. Their offensive line is lousy, so I don't understand it from that standpoint, but if you bring back Allen Robinson, you have a Darnell Mooney who's underrated, you have a Cole Kmet at tight end who's up and coming, David Montgomery. I like the offense with Russell Wilson because he brings that playmaker element. Then they have, on top of that, a top 10, a top 12 defense to go along with it. Khalil Mack could be a part of this trade, so he might be on the move. But I think the way the Bears play, having a steady defense for the past 3 seasons, along with Matt Nagy, along with Chicago, which Wilson seems to like as a city, I feel like that's an appealing spot for him. I feel like it's a trade that could actually make sense and work and happen. So that's why it's at number 2. The number 1 destination for Russell Wilson on his list of 4 teams is America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. The reason I have Dallas at number 1 for Russell Wilson is because they would have an absolute juggernaut of an offense. Juggernaut, okay? CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott, Kellen Moore calling the plays, an awesome offensive line, even if they're not as good as they used to be. Just an offense that would put up 30 a game easily. The defense doesn't really matter as much, although they can get better as well. The picks may cost them, but if they don't have Dak on contract here, and they feel he's too expensive, and they feel Russ is really that much better, going from a top 10 to a top 5 quarterback could potentially be the difference for Dallas. Why not? Why not Dallas? Why not Jerry Jones? Make the move. And for Russ, he's got the receivers, he's got the offensive line that he wants. He's in a huge market. Doesn't get bigger than that. Doesn't get bigger than Texas. Now to my alternative 4 teams that I believe, Russ, you should think about these 4 teams. At number 4, the Miami Dolphins. First, Miami. That's a city right there. You're talking the party city. You're talking a big city. You're talking a sports city. You're talking just a mainstream city, Miami. You couple that with Brian Flores, who seems to be a pretty open coach, seems to be a very well-respected coach early in his career, who's going to have a good defense for you. And you've got Devontae Parker, who seems to be like your type of wide receiver. Mike Gesicki seems to be like your type of tight end. They could surround you with a little bit of a better offensive line. They have so much money. They have a ton of draft picks that they can offer Seattle here. So both sides, it seems to make sense. Miami's trying to go for it. And even in return, they could throw in Tua, so Miami makes a lot of sense. My number 3 team is the Washington football team. So you're going from Washington State to Washington, D.C. This makes sense to me. Washington has an awesome defense. Russell Wilson clearly values awesome defense because that's how he's been raised as an NFL quarterback. Then you have a number 1 wide receiver in Terry McLaurin. You have a pretty good tight end in Logan Thomas. You have a pretty good running back in Antonio Gibson. But outside of that, you have a prime destination. It's a bigger market than Seattle is for sure. You could be the first good quarterback there since I don't even know when, 90s, 80s-ish. And this is a team that's ready to win now. They are a quarterback away from winning a championship, Russ. And you could have a chance to win over the next 3 to 4 years consistently with this team. Consistently. They have a good head coach in Ron Rivera, a pretty underrated offensive system with Turner there as the OC. I like it. I like this destination a lot for Russell Wilson. They'd have to get a little bit better at wide receiver, a little bit better on the offensive line, but not a stretch. Washington has certainly been bold in their past, and I think they'd really love Russell Wilson. The number 2 team that I have on my list of 4 for Russell Wilson is the Denver Broncos. So first things first, I understand this is Patrick Mahomes' Kansas City Chiefs division, but Denver would be better with Russell Wilson than Kansas City. Hear me out, okay? Jerry Jeudy, awesome route runner. Tim Patrick, super underrated, big receiver. Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler's speed, Melvin Gordon, Phillip Lindsay, Noah Fant, a decent offensive line with a really good left tackle, a really good interior, pretty good guard play. Defensively, okay, you have, I don't know if they'd keep Von Miller, but still a foundation of a Vic Fangio defense. He always has a good defense. Led by Justin Simmons. This is an awesome defense, awesome unit, and this team would be ridiculous. They're high-octane offense with great receiver play, just playmakers all over the field, and then Pat Shurmur at the helm offensively, who's pretty conducive to the style of Russell Wilson as it is, with a lot of play action and boot stuff and down the field, and he would mix in some screen game, all of that sort of stuff. I feel that would be an excellent fit, schematically an excellent fit. Just, they need a quarterback similar to Washington. They're a quarterback away from being a very good team, and they have a defense that you know would be pretty good. The number 1 destination that Russell Wilson should really pay attention to is the New England Patriots. I understand New England does not have the weaponry that Denver has. They don't have the defense currently that Washington has, but they have the best coaching staff, arguably still in the NFL. They have the greatest coach of all time and one of the best offensive coordinators in the league. They have a great offensive line, which Russell Wilson has really wanted. He wants to be protected, so that would buy him time to be his improvising self. They would be able to surround him with weaponry. They have a lot of cap space, so they can go out there and they can make moves for these wide receivers, and Russ would be the type of quarterback that would attract wide receivers to play for less inside of Josh McDaniels' offense, who always finds a way to scheme up open receivers and get quarterbacks just easy looks on occasion. And that is what Russ has been missing in his game. A structure, a system that can take his game to the next level and not make him carry the team on his shoulders. Plus, you know, Bill Belichick's defenses are never bad for a long time. Like, you're crazy if you think he's going to have a defense 2-3 years in a row that sucks. That's not going to happen. He's going to fix it, and this is a team that's more adaptable and more willing to change than any other in the NFL. They are the Patriots. Don't forget it. I believe the Patriots would be the best destination, even though right now it feels like their roster isn't quite there. They could get it there, and on top of that, it would be by far the best coaching option to offer Russell Wilson. There it is. My top 4 destinations, Russell Wilson's top 4 destinations, the top 8 destinations for Russell Wilson to land in 2021. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you think of Russell Wilson and where you think he should be traded. if he's going to get traded. Thanks for watching. It's Mitch. Make sure you do Gronk, spike that like button, and subscribe for more NFL. Peace!